Good morning and welcome to Daily Bailey here from Bangkok, Thailand. As you can see, I'm at a temple this morning. It's a really nice morning. Now today's very short video, and also it's going to be a little story around the area of motivation. So would you like to have more motivation in your life? Energy allows us to achieve anything that we want to achieve. The more energy, the more we can achieve, right? The more motivation, the more results we can get. Now, Tony Robbins, the father of life coaching, in a TED Talk once said...
What happens though is people say to me, well, I don't need any motivation. And I say, well, that's interesting. That's not what I do. I'm the why guy.
So what does he mean by that? Well, he means he doesn't want some external force just pumping you up. He wants to know, and he wants you to know how you work in terms of motivation. So like I said, I'm going to tell a very quick story that will highlight two very key components about motivation, and if we understand these, we can start to work with that and understand why we do what we do, and then we can change it to get more of what we want. So there we go. If you find my videos of value, please like, subscribe and ring the bell, and without further ado, story time. Sit back, relax and enjoy this very short story. Now, once upon a time, there was a group of boys who were very passionate about football, and they used to play daily. Now, where they used to play was on a greened area that was surrounded by a number of houses. And behind one of the goals, there was a house, and in that house lived a wise man. Now, from time to time, they would miss the goal and it would hit the wall of the man's house and it would ricochet off and it would make a loud sound. Now, at the time the boys played, it was a time that the man used to like to relax in the afternoon, watch a bit of TV and drink some tea. And it was a little bit disturbing. It shocked him a little bit when the ball hit, and so he was a little bit irritated by it. So the wise man decided to go out and speak to the boys. So he went outside and he said, listen boys, come back tomorrow and play football, and I'm going to pay each of you £5 for playing. So that's £5, $10, $250 bars, something like that. And so the boys were very excited. They went back and they played, and true to his word, the man came out and he paid and gave them everybody £5. So he said to them, boys, come back tomorrow and I'm going to pay you again. So the boys came back, they played, he came out and he paid, but this time he said to them, listen, I'm going to have to reduce the amount by 25%. So the boys took the money and he said to them again, come back tomorrow, play and I will pay. So the boys came back, they played, he came out and he paid. However, this time he said, boys, today I'm going to have to reduce by 50%. Now, something was different this time. The boys were a little bit disappointed that it was only 50% because they were expecting a little bit more. However, they took the money and the man said to them again, okay, come back tomorrow and I will pay you for playing. Now this time they just didn't appear as enthusiastic as the original, the first time that he said come and I'll pay you for playing. But anyway, they came back and he came out, they played, he came out, he paid, but this time it was 25% down again, so it was 75% off the original amount. Now this time the boys were not happy. They ummed and ahed and they spoke amongst themselves, and they just seemed to not be happy about the situation. So he said to them, boys, listen, okay, now come back tomorrow and play, but tomorrow I cannot pay. So the boys were just they looked at each other, they looked at him, and they just like, no way. If you can't pay, we're not going to play. Now, hope you enjoyed the story. What can we learn from that story? Well, we can clearly see in that story that there are two forces when it comes to motivation. There's what we call an intrinsic and there's an extrinsic. So an internal and an external. So in the beginning, the boys played football for the love and for the passion and for the connection. And in the end, they played for the reward. So we can think about it this way. Intrinsic motivation is in the heart. It's about our passions. And extrinsic, it's a bit more about the mind, but also more than that, it's about the external world and society itself. So, for example, like, you know, you go to work to get paid, right? And within that situation, you have to sort of like follow certain rules, you have to connect and interact with people, so you've got to play that game. It's not just a case of you only do what you want and you only follow your heart, and it's not a case of you only do what other people want you to do. So what we can learn about motivation is there's two aspects to motivation. There's the heart and the mind and the world, or there's the internal and the external. And we have to play at both of them. And that is what we call a third alternative. It's not just doing one or the other, being polarized. It's being smart and integrating, okay, in my life, I'm going to use my heart and I'm going to use my mind when it comes to motivation. Okay, hope you found that useful. If you did, please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications of new videos, and use your heart and mind in life. You know, be emotional, be intelligent. So EQ and IQ, get them both working together. And I'm just about to go and do some exercise, so don't forget to use your body, mind, body and emotion. Engage them to the absolute max that you can in life to unlock the best experience that you possibly can. Have a really, 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 really great day, and I will see you in the next one. Stay hungry.